In 1872, the merchant ship Mary Celeste was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean, with no sign of its crew. What happened to the men and women who embarked on that fateful journey? Did they face pirates, mutiny, or supernatural forces? Today in Crimes and Mysteries, we will unravel one of the greatest maritime enigmas in history. The Mary Celeste was built in 1861, originally called Amazon, in Canada. It was a brigantine merchant ship about 30 meters long and weighing 282 tons. In its early years, the ship faced bad luck. The inaugural captain died of pneumonia on his first voyage. The ship suffered serious damage in 2 maritime accidents and changed hands several times. In 1868, it was purchased by an American consortium led by James Winchester, who renamed it Mary Celeste. At the time, there was a maritime superstition that changing a ship's name brought bad luck. The Mary Celeste departed New York on November 5, 1872, bound for Genoa, Italy. On board was Captain Benjamin Briggs, 37 years old, respected and experienced, with 18 years of maritime career. Sarah Briggs, his wife, and Sophia Briggs, their 2-year-old daughter, were also on board. It was rare to take family members on a merchant voyage, but the captain considered the route safe. 7 crew members of different nationalities, described as competent seamen with no history of problems, were also on board. The ship was carrying 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, a highly flammable product destined for the Italian market and valued at $35,000, a significant sum for the time. Why was this trip important? The Mary Celeste was in a phase of financial recovery after years of losses. The successful delivery of this cargo was crucial to its owners. On December 4, 1872, the British ship Dei Gratia, commanded by Captain David Morehouse, sighted the Mary Celeste adrift about 740 kilometers west of Portugal, near the Azores Islands. The Dei Gratia had also left New York 8 days after the Mary Celeste, and was following the same route to Europe. When the crew of the Dei Gratia boarded the Mary Celeste, they found no sign of the crew. The ship was in good structural condition, with no significant damage. The alcohol cargo was practically intact, with only 9 empty barrels. The lifeboat was missing. The compass was damaged, but that was common on drifting ships. Some of the sails were torn, but the ship was still seaworthy. The logbook had the last entry dated November 25, indicating the ship's location near the Azores Islands. The supplies and provisions were in good condition, with enough food and water for 6 months. All of the crew's personal belongings were intact, including valuable documents. Why would an experienced crew abandon ship? That was clearly not in immediate danger. Captain Morehouse of the Dei Gratia took the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, where she was subjected to an investigation by the British authorities. The aim was to determine whether the ship had been the target of piracy or any illegal activity. The crew of the Dei Gratia were initially considered suspects, as they may have taken the Mary Celeste by force to claim the salvage reward. However, there were no signs of struggle or violence on board. The behavior of Morehouse and his crew was found to be beyond reproach during the investigation. The ship was thoroughly inspected. Strange cuts were found on the deck, which some suggested were caused by an explosion. However, there were no signs of fire, which contradicted the theory of an accident with the barrels of alcohol. The cargo was verified to be almost intact, except for the 9 barrels which were empty. It was later discovered that these barrels were made of porous wood, which could explain their condition. Despite all efforts, authorities have been unable to determine what happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste. The case was closed as a maritime mystery, with no evidence of crime or wrongdoing. The disappearance of the Mary Celeste crew has generated countless theories over the years. Although some are more plausible, others delve into speculation and supernatural elements. Theory 1: Riot or crime. A mutiny on board may have occurred due to tensions between the crew and Captain Briggs. Another possibility of this theory would be a crime committed by pirates or another maritime crew. Evidence in favor of this theory is that the alcohol cargo was extremely valuable and a crew member could have tried to steal it, or become revolted due to the dangers of transporting flammable alcohol. The absence of the crew and the lifeboat could indicate that the crew abandoned the ship after some confrontation. Evidence against this theory: it was not possible to find signs of a struggle on board the Mary Celeste. Also, the fact that the cargo and personal belongings were intact goes against this theory. A natural event may have forced the crew to abandon ship. A storm or a tidal wave. A sudden storm could have frightened the crew, causing them to evacuate the ship. A tidal wave could have temporarily flooded the deck, creating the false impression that the ship was sinking. There may also have been a methane gas eruption. Under certain conditions, pockets of methane gas can escape from the ocean floor and create explosions or disturbances on the surface. The crew could have mistaken this phenomenon as an imminent hazard. There may also have been disturbances with the gas casks as highly flammable alcohol vapors escaped from poorly sealed casks. A small expulsion could have frightened the crew, although it left no fire marks. Evidence in favor of this theory. The lack of serious damage to the Mary Celeste suggests that the crew may have abandoned ship out of fear rather than an actual disaster or accident. Evidence against this theory. The logbook did not mention extreme weather conditions prior to the disappearance. The ship was found in good condition, with no signs of significant flooding. Theory 3. Human error or technical failure. Captain Briggs may have made a rash decision, believing the Mary Celeste was about to sink. The ship could have had problems with its compass or other nautical equipment, leading to erroneous decisions about its safety. There were also reports that there was about 1 meter high of water on the deck of the Mary Celeste, which could have given the impression that the ship was in false distress. Evidence in favor of this theory. The lack of serious damage to the ship suggests that the decision to abandon ship was based on a misperception rather than a real threat. Evidence against this theory. Captain Briggs was experienced and unlikely to abandon a ship in good condition without a very clear reason. The disappearance of the crew may have been the result of a deliberate plan that was never discovered. Insurance fraud. Although the cargo arrived intact, theories suggest that the owner or others involved may have planned to stage the disappearance to profit from the insurance. Involvement of other crews. Some theories point to the possibility that the Dei Gratia played a suspicious role in the disappearance, although without concrete evidence. The case was closed without clear conclusions, leaving room for speculation. The cargo was not damaged and the Mary Celeste was in good condition, which contradicts the idea of fraud or sabotage. Each theory has intriguing and possible elements, but none is completely conclusive. The lack of concrete evidence and the ship's good condition add to the mystery, making the Mary Celeste sinking an enigma that continues to fascinate to this day. The case of the Mary Celeste continues to intrigue historians, writers, and the general public. Mary Celeste has inspired books, films, and research for over 150 years. The ship had a tragic end. It was used in insurance fraud and ended up sinking in the Caribbean in 1885. The mystery of the Mary Celeste remains one of the most fascinating enigmas in maritime history. How was a ship in perfect condition found adrift, with no sign of its crew? Was it pirates, a riot, or something scarier? Could it be that a fatal error by the captain doomed everyone on board? Now we want to know your opinion. What do you think happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Which of these theories do you find most convincing? Or is there an explanation we haven't yet considered? Keep following our channel for more episodes, and remember, every mystery has a story, but not always an answer.